I am. I'm the other daughter. I'm Gloria's daughter too. No, a lot of people at church are like, I'm Gloria's other daughter. So, I'm technically the middle child because we had a brother that had passed away when we were young, as a baby. He passed away as a baby, and since we're twins, and I came first, so then really I'm the middle one. So I'm the one that is the peacekeeper, the one that reminds everybody that this is what needs to be done. It's Mom's birthday. It's Mom's this. Don't forget you need to do this for Mom. Did you guys call and check in on Mom? So, so I don't have the same kind of conversation because the two eldest have a lot to say. And then the youngest will have a lot to say. So I'm just gonna say, I do remember though, when we were young, and we all go back to that. Mom, I'm not sure if I remember exactly that she used to carry the three of us all the time when we were small, but I do, it's in my mind, so I don't know if the memory is there because she's always talked about it in their pictures, but she was so strong, as my brother said. She was fierce. She carried all three of us all the time. Because Jackie really didn't start walking until she was almost 7, right? I remember the day that she actually got up and then started taking her first steps. I still remember it as clear as day in the living room, and she started walking by the couch. But prior to that, she wasn't really walking. And everywhere we went because we came along when she was not yet 2. So Mom had to carry 3 babies all the time. And she carried all 3 of us in her arms. Every day. Every day. The pictures, I see the pictures, so I know. So, and she used to sew a lot because Dorothy's already mentioned that. But you bet your bottom dollar, come evening time, all her children were well dressed, bathed, and ready for when my dad got home. So regardless of whatever else was going on, she always made sure everything was in place. We always, and she passed that on in her own way to each and every one of us, and always that it's about order and it's about being able to do more than one thing and accomplishing whatever we set our minds to. So because of that, we are who we are today. We're really, I guess we're all strong in our own way. My brother is an activist. I'm a nurse. My brother is a firefighter. So like we're all doing something, giving back to the community in our own way, all the time. And Douglas has touched on it, that activism of hers, where even though she didn't really say it, it was just there. And even one of the things, she was always there for us. She used to babysit and did whatever she had to in order for us to make ends meet with my dad. And any sports event that we were at, you can guarantee my mom was gonna be there. My brother, I was never that great at sports, but I always tried. But I have a brother, Devin here. I remember when he was running the track and field, and she was there cheering him on, and he fell. And that's okay. He still came first, right? He still won the race, but he fell through the tape and had this. He still has the scar today to show for it. And my mom was at the. And he laughed at me. My mom was at that finish line, and she was there, and she was like, "Oh, my son, are you okay? Are you okay?" And that it's sitting right there as if it were yesterday. So no matter what, she was always there. She still cheered him through that fall, everything. And we all have our own mom and children stories. I do have my own, as my mom and I have a different relationship from everybody else. And so she loves us all, but she loves us all in our own way. So I am that person that's always the one to be the one to make sure everything's all right for her and everything. So I'm giving back all of that you gave to me, because when Alejandro was small, you were always there. You like I never wanted for anything, and it's just that was just the way Mom was. So today, Mom, I'm taking this moment to thank you, to honor you, to say I love you unconditionally, and I wish you all the best. I wish you many more years of health and happiness. I did not
Do I need a mic? Yeah. Sure. Yes. All right. Here we go. All right. Mama Bear, it's your baby boy. I always like to tell everybody that's my baby son. I'm 50 years old, but I'm still a baby. So save the best for last. But I would say that, but it's not really true. Because one of the things that I find interesting as we all talk, everybody has a different relationship with my mother. Some of us a little bit more challenging than the others, but we all have different relationships with her. And our relationship has always been one, how would you describe it? Let's just say that I'm going to be the one that's going to tell her what she needs to hear. But I always preface it by saying to you, and I'll do it today too, Mom, I love you. Always start off by saying, Mom, I love you, but I'm not doing that. Right? Or Mom, I love you, but I don't agree with that. And I think that's interesting about that, because a lot of times she said, well, where does that come from? And as we're talking and telling all these different stories, it comes from you. Right? Because the things we talk about coming to Canada, why was it important for us to come to, or I'm not saying come to Canada, let's say leave Jamaica to go to a better opportunity. Right? It was very important for them. I think one of the things they told us all the time is that they wanted to make sure that we had a broader horizon, right? That we were going to be able to expand and move forward and become the people that we were meant to be. And they didn't feel that was going to happen in the environment that we were in. So that was from you. Now we talk about the pushback. There's always going to be a pushback. I get pushback from my kids because the same thing. You pay it forward, right? So what I'm going to say to you is that I would say to you that the best for last, I'm your favorite in my head, but that's nonsense, because I know the reality is that my mother is always, there's a way, I don't know how she does it, but we all know that we're equally loved. I don't know how to say it any other way, right? We know that there is no favorite. There's been a time when my sister, when we were on that bus and people were trying to make her feel like she didn't belong there, we didn't care. Because my mother was really clear with all of us that we're family and we are going to look after each other no matter what. So the rest of them don't care what. Okay, I'm going to use it in this sentence. Don't care what you think, because we're going to take care of each other, right? Now, same thing. Dorothy touched on that. Once we decide that you're family and you're part of this family, then we're going to take care of you too. And that came from my mother. I say my parents. My father's not here anymore, but we're talking about mom today, but let's say my parents. But my mom was really good with that. Defended my sister. I remember defending her when it didn't matter. Against what people would think would be insurmountable odds was going to happen. You know, it was my brother, defends my brother, defends him to us, right? Ian, okay, I'll be honest with you, bro. She's the one that is probably, as we would say, we're closest to Mom, because they have a relationship that way where they're going to look after each other. Me, yeah, she's always defending me, right? She's always defending me, even when I didn't deserve it. So I think what I'm going to say to you is that, just like everyone else in this room, I know when I look back on my life that there have been times when we've had our battles, We've had our difference of opinions. We've come to an understanding. I always tell people, I tell my kids, I've never fought with my mother. I do not argue with my mother. We have difference of opinions. Alright? So, I mean, and you've raised us all to be strong. Yes, we have an understanding that it's not just about what we want in life, but how can we affect other people's lives. I know for me, a lot of times I have conversations with my friends where I'm always looking for a way, like, okay, there's something missing, I need to do more, right? So I know that that comes from our parents. And we have to say again, thank you for that. Forever grateful for you for that. And yeah, I'm going to finish off by telling you one last time, I love you. I love you.